Because I have a job to do, sir. Nobody's above the law.
This is the first time anybody has been disrespectful to me. You don't think I got the money?
On February 14th, 2022, Martin Hyde, a congressional candidate from the Sarasota area, is pulled over at a traffic stop for speeding and texting while driving. He is wanting special treatment instead of owning up to his mistakes, even if that means to get this police officer fired.
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing, sir? I'm Sebastian, Sarasota Police Department. You're on audio and video recording. The reason for the stop, you were observed going 57 and a 40, and you were on your phone texting while you were doing that. That was at Euclid and Fruitville.
You don't need to point at me, officer.
I'm not pointing at you. I'm pointing in the direction where it was.
I just called the chief, how's that?
Go right ahead, sir. Can I see your license?
I am, right?
Yes, sir, I do. Can I see your license, registration, insurance, please?
You can do this?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry? I still have a job to do, sir.
Yeah, okay. What's your name?
Officer Veskin, it's going to be on the citation. Can I see your insurance, registration, and your license, please? Sir, can I have your paperwork, please? 7 years, sir. Can I see your registration, please? You're not going to give me your registration, sir.
You arrest me?
I'm asking you if you're going to produce me with your registration.
Martin Hyde immediately asks the officer if she knows who he is. His status supposedly makes him more important than any other citizen, and he wants to be treated as such. Hyde is asking her how long she's been an officer. In other words, he is questioning her police skills and how competent she is. Hyde doesn't want to hand over his information to the officer and wants to call her chief.
You don't have it on you?
Look, go call the chief. Tell him how rude you just been to me. Play with this figure.
Okay.
Then you call Marlon Brown. Then you call the mayor.
Okay.
They're not okay, darling. I'm telling you what to do.
Okay, sir. Are you refusing to produce your registration? I'm asking you if you have your registration.
You're making career decisions.
Okay,
Why are
sir.
you doing this?
Sir, because you were speeding and you were texting.
Says who? Where's your video?
All right. Hang tight.
Hyde is denying the accusations of driving too fast and texting while driving. He is asking the officer whether she has any proof of him doing those things. Hyde is refusing to cooperate, and he is making threats to the officer's career. He also mocks her by calling her darling instead of officer.
Call the supervisor. I just spoke to your boss.
Okay.
That's not okay.
You want your paperwork?
Is it your Russian immigrant status that makes you talk to people like this?
10-14-6.
Call the supervisor.
14 dispatch, can you have my supervisor respond, please?
Yeah. And then we'll see who goes.
Okay. You don't want your paperwork?
6142, can you be 51 just for Bell
You
Street?
don't have a warrant.
Sir, you're going to be issued a citation.
Anything you have to say. I'll wait for the supervisor.
You can wait for the supervisor, but I'm going to go through what I need to go through.
Hyde is trying to intimidate the officer. He makes a phone call to her supervisor and asks questions about her. He is immediately playing the victim on the phone, telling the supervisor that he is being unfairly treated. He is questioning her nationality, but she is not feeling intimidated. Instead, she is making Hyde aware that he will be receiving citations whether he is a congressional candidate or not.
All right, you are going to be issued a
There's the
citation.
registration.
Well, you've been already issued a citation for that.
For what?
For failing to produce your registration. All right. Sir, you're going to...
Hyde is given a citation for not producing his registration. Once he is handed the citation, he quickly gives the officer his registration. She tells him it's too late. She has asked him multiple times before and he didn't hand it to her. Now, Hyde is insulting the officer. He is calling her stupid. But according to the First Amendment of the United States Constitution, it isn't illegal to insult someone anywhere in the country. But it's certainly unprofessional for someone of his position to insult an officer in public.
You're going to be issued a citation 57 and a 40 for speeding. Your fine is 256. Information in the back. You're going to have an option to plead guilty, an option to plead not guilty, and an option to take a safe driver's course. If you qualify for the course, it will reduce your fine, and it will reduce your points. If you decide to go ahead and do that, just make sure you do it prior to submission of payment.
You know what he said about you? You want to hear what he said about you?
He could say all he wants about me. I got a job to do, sir.
Yeah. You know what he said about you?
If you fail to
Had you
complete...
before like this.
Okay.
And he's going to have you again.
And that's fine.
It's not fine. Why do you keep saying it's fine?
Sir,
I'm a law-abiding citizen, and you're being bloody rude to me.
if you decide to go ahead and do the course, just make sure you do a prior to submission of payment, as they do
You think you're winning?
require a certificate of
Do you?
completion. If you sign up for it, you must complete it. Otherwise, they will go ahead and suspend your license. You are going to be issued a citation for texting and driving. Okay? You are going to be issued a citation for texting and driving. Your fine is $116. Information in the back. You're going to have an option to plead guilty and an option to plead not guilty. You are going to be issued a citation for failure to provide your registration upon request. Your fine is $116. Information in the back. You can plead guilty or not guilty.
You're lying.
The officer is handing him 2 more citations, one for speeding and one for texting while driving. Hyde is still denying breaking the law. He then informs the officer that her boss was telling him things about her, but the officer isn't letting Hyde get to her. He is calling her a liar, but he is caught on camera lying about the registration.
Green paper tells you you have 30 days to replay.
Why are you lying?
You have 30 days
Why
to
are you
reply.
lying?
Your payment options are on the green form.
Here's a simple question. Why are you lying?
Phone number on the bottom in case you have any questions. When my supervisor comes, I'll wait for him with you if you like me to. Your citations are over here. You can accept them. I will wait. I will wait, but I will wait in my car. There you go.
Yeah, but you have the bad.
Hyde is repeatedly asking the officer why she is lying. She tells him that she'll be waiting for her supervisor by the car. She isn't taking the bait and letting her guard down, because any mistake she makes can count against her. Mr. Hyde knows how to get his way. That's why he's in such a high position. But the law is the law, and if the officer is playing by the law, then Mr. Hyde doesn't have much of a foot to stand on.
Sir, step back into your car or stand on the sidewalk so you don't get hit by a vehicle. It's for your safety. 14 radio, can I have another unit respond?
6117,
Sir, stand over there. It's for my safety and for your safety. Sir?
743,
10-4, the driver being extremely uncooperative.
Mr. Hyde has stepped out of his car and is angrily walking around in the road. The officer is telling him to get back into his car or onto the sidewalk. She then calls for a backup unit, citing that Hyde is being extremely uncooperative.
Are you still waiting for a supervisor or are you leaving?
Frangione's coming now.
Okay, very good.
By the way, he's a friend of mine.
I'm sorry?
I'm aware of that
Friends.
situation.
Okay.
I'm on my way over there.
You know Pat Robertson, right?
Yes, I do, sir.
Why are you doing this?
Because I have a job to do, sir.
Not like that.
Nobody's above the law.
No one's above the law. You have to have some degree of respect for law-abiding.
That degree of respect started the moment I walked up to your car, sir.
No. You knew exactly what you were doing and you made a mistake.
If that is your feeling, you are more than welcome to fight the citations in court.
I'll fight the citation. I'll
Okay.
fight your employment.
Okay. You're more than, you're an influential person.
Very.
You could go ahead and do that.
Yes, I can.
Mr. Hyde is still waiting for the supervisor to come. Yet again, Hyde is throwing his status in her face. He is telling her that her supervisor is a friend of his, but the officer is informing him that no one is above the law and that she is only doing her job. Hyde is threatening to take her to court for her disrespectful attitude, but she hasn't been disrespectful once out of the entire encounter, even after getting provoked. But Mr. Hyde sees it differently.
Why not just say you're sorry?
Because I did nothing wrong, sir. I was doing my job, but I am going to ask you either to sit in your car or step on the sidewalk because I don't want either one of us getting hit. Okay. Sir, I have nothing more to say to you, sir. You requested my supervisor. You can have the conversation with them now.
Mr. Hyde is insisting on getting an apology, but the officer is telling him that she has nothing to apologize for and that her supervisor is on his way.
Hello, Mr. Hyde? I guess you talked to Sergeant Frangione by the phone?
I did, yeah.
Okay, he's on his way. She requested another unit, so that's what another
give
unit.
someone a certificate, ticket for no registration when they've got their registration. She's trying to make her spurs, but it's a big mistake.
Well, this one is the expired one, but
Well, it doesn't make it. It'll take 2 seconds.
yeah.
We're going to make sure that she pays the price for being disrespectful. And I just wanted you to witness and know that, the registration was right there, and she deliberately chose to write the ticket. She came up, she said, the first... Look, there's a video of it, so be quiet. There's a video of what you said.
There is.
And I've got a video of what you said. Right? What she said was, I said, I don't have it. She immediately said, I write your citation. She went right back. She never said anything. She went straight back. I denied the citation. She's straight back, right the citation. I've lived here for 25 years. I've represented your union. I've got no interest in listening to you, young lady.
I was talking to my sergeant. Sergeant, if you don't mind if we could step over off the road onto the sidewalk.
Yeah.
The second police officer has arrived to speak to Mr. Hyde. Now, Mr. Hyde is pretending to have received a ticket for no reason. It is clear from the beginning of the interaction that he didn't want to hand over his registration. He was given a citation for not presenting his registration after being asked numerous times. Now, he is telling the second cop that he got a citation for no reason. He is playing the victim, but his story is falling apart.
I've represented you guys in union discussions. My son is a cop. I'm friends with everybody in the police department. This is the first time anybody has been disrespectful to me. And for what reason? I could care less. If they were going to write me a ticket, I could care less. I just pay the bloody thing. You don't think I got the money? It's the manner and the nature of it.
Okay. And like I said, Sergeant Vangione will be over here to talk to you about her interaction. I'd say
outrageous. Yeah. Why would you do that? Why? I mean, of all the people to do it to.
Yeah, I understand, sir. And you know, I set you. I've been with the negotiations with you, and I understand where you're coming from.
I don't ask for special treatment, but I don't expect to get treated like a punk.
Let me go talk to her and see.
Well, it's a waste of time. Yeah. She's got it in her head. I know exactly who she is. Frangione told me exactly who she is. That's fine. 7 years might not turn into 8.
Yet again, Hyde is bringing up that he's got friends in the police department, so he is suggesting that he should be given special respect. He is threatening the first officer's job again. Hyde's eldest son is a sheriff's deputy, and Hyde is telling him about his support for the police department. He doesn't believe he should be treated like this.
Stay in your car.
I just wanted to know if you want me to go back to the station.
You can go to the station. Yep, go to the station. Hey, Martin. Yeah, I have to leave it on.
All right, so here's the thing. She lied about the cell phone thing.
Okay.
She lied about, I don't know, the speed. I could care less. You can give me the ticket all day long. I could care less about that. And then I gave her the registration, and she's your registration? It's in the car there somewhere. She goes off, she writes me a ticket, she brings me back a citation. I said, there it is.
Okay.
And she still gives me it.
Okay. All right.
She's being funny. And the thing is, I appreciate that. I back you guys left, right, and centre.
I understand that. I do. Trust me, I do know that.
I don't expect better treatment, but I don't expect worse treatment. If that's how you treat people, that's unacceptable.
Okay. I understand. I understand your frustration.
And I can get the video and I can play it.
Hyde first asks the sergeant if he must leave his mic on. The sergeant tells him that he can't put it off. Mr. Hyde then starts bad-mouthing the police officer to the sergeant. The sergeant hears him out and says he will review the video footage.
Well, she's a traffic officer.
Yeah,
that's what we do. But I understand.
I understand that's what she do.
Yeah.
It's not what you do, and you know it.
Listen, she has a job to do. I'm not. Listen, I'm going to look at the. I'm going to look at the video. I understand your concerns. I'm going to look at the video. I notified everybody in the chain of command right now. That's what I was doing. That's why I was not coming here. I thought you were going to meet me at the station, but it's not a big deal. She's going right now to dock her video. Right now, she's going to dock the video. And if there's problems, you will be the first to know.
Well, I know there's problems. The difference is, I'll do something about it.
Okay, I understand. Yeah, I'm going to take your complaint, is what I'm doing. That's the first step.
You know, how can you write a ticket for no registration when you've got the registration? I mean, as if I get a $150,000 car I've lived here for 25 years and I don't register a car. Why do that?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Well, you tell me what the point is.
It's just a state statute that she enforces. She's not the only traffic officer that
Would you
writes.
give a ticket for that?
I really don't leave the office. I understand what you're saying.
I understand you have a video on there, but the fact is, nobody in their right mind would give a ticket for that to me. Nobody.
I understand what you're saying, and you producing it, she probably should have taken that ticket away, but I'm going to find out what exactly occurred.
Because she had a bee in her bonnet because she thought she was on a big power trip.
This time, the sergeant is defending the cop's actions of giving Hyde citations. The sergeant is telling him that she is only doing her job and that he will do the right thing. He will review the entire incident and get back to Hyde with more information. The Sarasota Police Department has not commented on this incident, but Martin Hyde has released this following statement. Just over a week ago, I was stopped in Sarasota for speeding. During the stop, I was belligerent and rude to the officer who stopped me. Much interest has been shown in local media and many comments made as to my behavior. I'm not going to justify my poor temper on that day or attempt to mitigate it in any way. There will be some who will say it's not the first time I've acted out, and they'd be right. I have faults, and one of them is to be overly aggressive on occasion when I'm challenged. In the political arena, that is possibly a good thing, but on a personal level, it's not. I've apologized to the officer in question, and now I'm apologizing to the community as a whole. I'm going to do my utmost to behave better going forward. I'm not running away though, and that's not in my nature. There is nothing more I can say or will say on this subject other than I'm sorry for any offense caused to anyone. Hyde has admitted that he was grumpy that day and took it out on the officer. He said that he regrets being a bully. He doesn't hold any grudges against cops. This is what he said. I think people need to get a little bit of perspective. While I am sorry and while I accept it shouldn't have happened, many worse things are happening all over the world every single day, and part of the reason I am running is to make sure we live in a better world.